The year is 1993. Ferruccio Lamborghini died. Wait, no, that's a little too far into the story. The year is 1916. For some reason, the Summer Olympics in Germany are cancelled. People decided that war is great, and Ferruccio Lamborghini was born in the Emilia-Romagna region of northern Italy. Having such an Italian sports car sounding name, Lamborghini had a natural interest in farming equipment. Yeah, he loved cultivators, planters, ridges, he loved to plow, and he loved tractors. In 1940, he was drafted into the Italian Air Force and stationed on the island of Rhodes, where he started out as a mechanic and later became supervisor of the vehicle maintenance unit. In 1945, when the whole kerfuffle about long-lasting Reichs and empires was finally over, they let him go back to his hometown. A couple of months later, in 1946, he married, but unfortunately, his wife died while giving birth to his son, Tonino. This was a turning point for Lamborghini. In the year 1947, Lamborghini decided that since he had such an Italian sports car sounding name, he should devote his life to the designing and building of high-performance tractors. Yes, and what a stroke of genius it was, as after taking such a massive L in World War II, Italians probably weren't going to enter into any big military conflicts anytime soon, and so they had a lot of military machinery that was basically useless if it wasn't broken anyways. And that is where Mr. Lamborghini came into play. He saw that there was a big opportunity in post-war Italy, since the country had an emerging need to revive their decimated agricultural industry, and there were a lot of spare parts lying around. He decided to build tractors from cheap materials and to sell them cheap to farmers all around Italy. But that's not all, as Italians weren't only too poor to buy expensive machinery, but many were also too poor to afford petrol. And so Lamborghini had another idea. He took old petrol engines from British Morris trucks and put in a fuel atomizer, which meant that the engine would be started with petrol, but then they would switch to using diesel, which was much cheaper. The Carioca tractor, and with it the company Lamborghini Trattori, Lamborghini Tractors, was born. He started out in a small factory that made about a tractor a week and developed into an industry giant over the next couple of years.
This thing is enormous!
However, since he had such an Italian sports car sounding name, it was only natural that he was drawn to vehicles that go a bit faster than the average tractor. A couple of years earlier, in fact, he turned this cute looking little Fiat into this still quite cute looking, slightly more angry Fiat sports car. Ad time. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. Again, I've had HelloFresh for a couple of weeks now, and I've got to say, it's actually really nice. I would say that I'm a fairly creative cook, but their recipes actually gave me a couple of really nice ideas on, for example, new herbs I can try to cook with going forward. I don't think I've ever consciously cooked with sage, but that stuff is pretty good. Enjoy fall's freshest flavors. Every HelloFresh recipe includes ripe, just picked produce that travels from the farm to your door in less than a week. Fit and wholesome recipes make it easier to eat without sacrificing flavors, so you can maintain your goals and feel good about your food choices with HelloFresh. But the best thing is, HelloFresh works with your day-to-day schedule. All the plans are flexible. You can change your meal preferences, update your delivery day, and even change your address with just a few taps on the HelloFresh app. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code HouseToast65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com and use code HouseToast65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Link is in the description. Check him out. Ad over. He entered it into the prestigious Mille Miglia race in 1948 and drove it into the side of a restaurant. Bonk. As his company was getting more and more successful, he was able to buy faster and more expensive cars. From Alfa Romeos and Lancias, over a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, Jaguar E-Type Coupe, and not one, but two Maserati 3500 GTs, to the creme de la creme of mid-century sports cars, a Ferrari 250 GT. Lamborghini loved his Ferrari. He loved it so much, in fact, that he bought two more. We all know that feeling. We love a car so much, we buy two more. Have you ever loved a car so much you bought two more? The only thing I buy two more of if I like them is when discounted monocolored socks come in a 3-pack. However, on all of those three Ferraris, the clutch would break more often than a Skyrim load order with 400 mods, which angered Lamborghini a lot. You see, one of the selling points of Lamborghini's tractors was that they were highly modular. Most parts were interchangeable, and if something broke, spare parts were ubiquitous, and every small-town workshop mechanic named Vittorio could repair your tractor for a handful of lira. Ferrari, however, was a bit less convenient. They were basically the Apple of mid-century sports cars, would require only original parts and frequent trips to the Ferrari factory in Maranello in order to be repaired. The mechanics would secret away the car for hours and make Lamborghini wait outside. Scusate, while you wait, Signore Lamborghini, would you like to upgrade your Ferrari iCloud storage? For the 27th time this month, no, thank you. Very well, I shall remind you later. No, good news, Mr. Lamborghini. We have replaced your clutch and you are ready to go. That'll be 1,000 lira. 1,000 lira? What is it made of? Pure gold? Did the Pope have to bless it first? Is the Pope back there? Did Enzo Ferrari just come back from mining the iron himself? What's going on? With all due respect, Signore Lamborghini, we here at Ferrari, we stand for quality. Yep, broken again. Signore Lamborghini, would you like to upgrade to your Ferrari iCloud? No, thank you. Very well, I shall remind you later. That'll be 1,000 lira. We here at Ferrari stand for quality. Could I interest you in Ferrari? Fine. That means you'll stop asking? Perhaps. That'll be 1,000 lira. We here at Ferrari stand for quality. At some point, Lamborghini had enough, and he decided to take his Ferrari apart himself. To his dismay, he found out that the clutches Ferrari was using were the same ones that he used in his tractors, worth around 10 lira. Hey, I'd like to talk to your manager. Il commendatore? Sì. Enzo Ferruccio Lamborghini decided to talk to Enzo Ferrari. Just wait right here. Scusate, while you wait, Signore Lamborghini, may I interest you in Ferrari pay? No, thank you. Very well. I shall remind. An hour later, Il commendatore will now speak to you. Lamborghini explained the clutch issue in great detail to Ferrari. However, unfortunately, he led the conversation by saying, Ferrari, your cars are rubbish. And Ferrari was furious. A guy making tractors came into his office complaining about his cars, saying he could do a better job and insulting his pride and joy. At this point, you might think Lamborghini was a bit of an asshole here to insult Ferrari, but knowing Italian culture, this was pretty polite, all things considered, as he didn't say that the cars were an embarrassment to Enzo, his ancestors, and Italia as a whole. However, Ferrari told him, Lamborghini, you may be able to drive a tractor, but you will never be able to handle a Ferrari properly. And so Lamborghini told him, oh, yes, I am a farmer. I'll show you how to make a sports car, and I will do a sports car by myself to show you how a sports car has to be. And having such an Italian sports car sounding name, Lamborghini decided to found his own sports car company. Skoda, I think. Lamborghini thought Ferrari's cars were good, but too noisy and rough for a road car. On top of that, he felt that for how much of a hole they ate into your wallet, they had a distinct lack of luxurious interior to go with it. Of the Maserati car he owned, he said, it was comfortable, but it felt heavy and did not go very fast. As he had quite a remarkable sports car collection himself, Lamborghini set out to take the best trades of all of them to make the perfect sports car to beat Ferrari. After visiting a ranch just outside of the Spanish city Seville, belonging to a famous fighting bull breeder, Don Eduardo Miura, Lamborghini was so impressed by these majestic animals, they decided to adopt the raging bull as the emblem for Lamborghini Automobili. Obviously, beyond the spite for Ferrari, there was an economic incentive for Lamborghini to enter the high-profit margin sports car business, which became apparent after the financial success that Lamborghini had over the following decades. After some financial difficulties during the 1970s oil crisis, Lamborghini sold his company to a Swiss investor, who sold it on and on and on and on and I think on, until Audi bought it and made it a successful brand once again from the late 90s until today. However, spite and the automotive industry go together like bread and butter. Ferrari famously annoyed Ford into kickstarting their own racing program, basically solely aimed at beating Ferrari. However, it wasn't much better over at Lamborghini. Some guy named Horacio was working for them in the late 80s. He tried to persuade Lamborghini to buy an autoclave so that they could extend their production of carbon parts for their cars going forward. However, they refused, saying that Ferrari didn't have an autoclave, so Lamborghini didn't need one. And because of that incident, Horacio Pagani thought, with such an Italian sports car sounding name, I guess I'll have to make my own. So remember, the next time your boss belittles you at work, start your own company with blackjack and sports cars. As for Ferruccio Lamborghini, after the 2 successful businesses around tractors and cars, he also founded an oil burner factory, a company focused on hydraulics, and Lamborghini Calor, which got into the business of air conditioning. Yeah, it is made by Lamborghini. How did you know? In the late 1970s, Lamborghini called it a day with all of his business endeavors and decided, you know what, for the rest of my life, I'll live on my estate in the Italian countryside and I will make wine, and that will be that. Ferrari never spoke to him again. Not bad for a tractor driver. Thank you for watching. If you like my stuff and you want to support a small creator, go ahead and like the video, maybe leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you to Random Gabriel, Slav Artur, Kadoan, and Tobin. Thank you so much. And if you want your name to be next in the credits of all of my channel's videos forever, this might be your last chance because we're almost at 100 patrons. And I thank you all so much for that. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Have a lovely day. Next year is our year. TM.